The oldest truck on your street is probably the one that will still be running 10 years from now. Not the shiny new one at the dealership, the old one. I know how that sounds, so here is the data. J.D. Power, which tracks this for a living, just found that for 3 years running, brand new vehicles have gotten less dependable, not more. The cars keep getting newer, and the problems keep getting worse. And this is not some minor annoyance. When a modern vehicle breaks, the repair bill can climb so high the insurance company simply gives up and totals the car. Last year, a record near 1 in 4 crashed vehicles was written off completely, and the average repair bill hit almost $5,000, nearly double what it was 15 years ago. But here is the strangest thing I found. The most damning proof that new cars have become too complex to trust is not a breakdown at all. It is a repair that Ford's own records swear was completed on more than 100,000 trucks that never actually happened. Stay with me, because once you understand why, you will look at that old truck in your driveway completely differently. So what changed? In one word, computers. Back in 1977, the first car computer showed up in the Oldsmobile Toronado, and it did one job. Control the spark timing. One computer, one job. The truck your neighbor refuses to sell has maybe a handful of them. A brand new truck? Industry engineers estimate it now carries more than 100 separate computers, running an estimated 100 million lines of code. That is more code than the spacecraft that carried astronauts to the moon. Your pickup is now a rolling data center. And every one of those computers, every line of that code, every sensor feeding it, is one more thing that can fail. The old truck was simple, and simple is hard to break. And here is where it starts costing you. Ask J.D. Power what owners complain about most in a new vehicle, and for 3 years running, the answer is not the engine, not the transmission, the screen, the touch screen that swallowed every knob and button your old truck had. When the buttons are gone and a frozen screen controls your climate, your backup camera, and your phone, a glitch is not a nuisance. It is a trip to the dealer. Then there are the sensors. Your new truck is wrapped in cameras and radar, in the windshield, the mirrors, the bumpers. Wonderful, right up until something small happens. A cracked windshield that used to cost a couple $100 now needs the camera behind it recalibrated. And that bill is over $1,000. According to the crash data firm CCC, that recalibration showed up on almost 0 repairs in 2017. Today, it is on more than a third of them. A fender bender on a modern truck can cost more than the truck is worth. Now, the car makers have an answer. Software updates beam to your vehicle over the air, just like your phone. Except J.D. Power asked owners whether those updates actually made their cars better, and fewer than 3 in 10 said yes. Most noticed no difference at all. You are the test driver now, and the car is never quite finished. And this is exactly where that impossible story from the beginning comes back. In June of 2026, Ford recalled more than 100,000 F-150 trucks. Not for a new defect, for an old one that was supposedly already fixed. Ford ran an internal audit and found something chilling. When its dealers switched from an older computer service tool called IDS to a newer one called FDRS, the system could mark a safety repair complete, sign it off, and close the file when the software fix had never actually loaded onto the truck. The record said, "Done." The truck was never touched. Sit with that. We have built cars so dependent on software that even the repair is software, and that repair can fail silently for years. To be fair to Ford, it has reported no crashes or injuries, and it is fixing the trucks now. But the lesson is far bigger than Ford. This is what too complex to trust actually looks like. And complexity is only half the story. The other half is cost cutting. To chase fuel economy numbers, car makers tore out the big, simple engines that ran forever and replaced them with smaller engines and turbochargers working under far more stress. They swapped proven transmissions for complicated new designs. And some of those bets went badly. Ford's small EcoBoost engines became the target of lawsuits, claiming coolant could leak straight into the cylinders. Owners allege the engines failed. Ford denies it, though it quietly extended the warranty on some. Nissan's continuously variable transmissions, the CVT units, triggered class action settlements and warranties stretched to 84,000 miles, while Nissan denied any defect. And Ford's dual-clutch power-shift transmission in the Focus and the Fiesta was so troubled it ended in a settlement covering nearly 2 million owners, with Ford spending over $47 million just buying cars back. The common thread? Every one was the new, efficient, advanced replacement for a part that used to just work. Now I have to be straight with you because the easy version of this story is a lie. New cars are not simply junk. In the most important ways, they are far better. They are dramatically safer. Federal data shows traffic deaths fell almost 7% last year, even as people drove more. And the Insurance Institute found that automatic emergency braking, now standard, cuts rear-end crashes in half. That saves lives. Full stop. And here is the honest twist. That same J.D. Power study found brand new car quality in the first 90 days actually improved this year, the biggest jump in nearly 30 years. Modern hybrids beat regular gas cars on reliability. And the gas engine itself is still the most dependable part of a new vehicle. So the real lesson is not that new is bad and old is good. It is sharper. New cars have traded simple, cheap-to-fix problems for complex, expensive, software-driven ones, safer to crash and costlier to own. And that trade-off is what should decide your next purchase. Which finally brings us back to that old truck in your driveway. Why does it refuse to die? Because it is simple. The parts are cheap. A good independent mechanic can fix it in an afternoon. No screen to freeze, no sensor to recalibrate, no subscription, no update that bricks it overnight. And it took its depreciation hit years ago. When a minor problem hits an older, simpler vehicle, you fix it for a few $100s and drive on. When that same problem hits a complex new one, the bill can total the car. And this is not just a feeling. The average vehicle on American roads is now a record 12.8 years old. Americans are quietly holding on to their older, simpler vehicles. And the data says that is often the smarter financial move, not a desperate one. The truck in your driveway is not a relic. It might be the most rational vehicle you own. So what do you do with all this? If you are shopping used, the playbook is simple. Favor the proven, simpler powertrains, the naturally aspirated engines, and the transmissions with long, boring track records. And take it straight from the head of testing at Consumer Reports, who says to avoid any brand new or newly redesigned model in its first year, because that is exactly when the problems are worst. Before you buy, take the 17-character VIN and run it free at the Safety Administration's site, nhtsa.gov, to see every open recall, because by law, those repairs are free for 15 years from the day that car first sold. And after the Ford story you just heard, make the dealer prove a completed recall was actually done. The new truck on the lot is safer than ever and more complicated than ever, and those two things are now permanently bolted together. The one in your driveway already survived the test. And speaking of survival, there is one brand that built its entire empire on lasting forever, a name people still call bulletproof. And the quiet way that reputation is finally cracking is a story I cannot wait to show you. That one is next. I will have it waiting for you.